It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. What you gonna do for party? It's AC/DC. And Chris, what do you do for party, man?
I like to party, you know that. I've been known to imbibe.
No, you?
Too. I know. Considering we've been setting up for an hour or so, and I'm a 6-pack deep. So,
well, see, here's the thing, and a lot of people don't, get this, but
yeah,
you have a studio here that is set up for you,
right? Sure,
just you.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you've seen the Classic Metal Show studio. You've been there. That's like a professional broadcast.
Yeah, that's a real studio.
Yeah. And that's set up for me and doing remotes and stuff. But when, I come to town here and we got to do it out of your studio and we got to do the broadcast machine and we got to do the setup and a lot of testing. But I think we know what we're doing now because what is this? Is this the third time that we've done this or the fourth?
It's the third time that we've done this, I think.
Okay, so 3 times in 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. We never do this. And when we do, let's face it, this is not, this destroyed area that we are sitting in that is CMS2 is not really CMS2. It's really my office for my computer workshop.
Nice.
That's what it is. It's where I build computers and fuck around on the web and build websites and stuff. It's not where where I'm ready for a professional broadcast.
Right, exactly. But we made it work, and I'm just glad to be here because I've had a kick-ass time the last couple of days. I, came over in this area, and I'll talk about a little more in depth because I do have some good stories to tell, funny stuff, and, you've got your stories to tell. In fact, you were telling me a little bit earlier that you went on surprise, you were doing drunken karaoke again this week.
Oh, yeah. Not karaoke.
Well, I mean, for I don't mean specifically in a bar karaoke, but you were doing a sing-along in the car.
Yes, I was in the car.
All right, but we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Sure.
And I'll tell you about some of my experiences and some of the people that I ran into, but I'll tell you somebody that I met for the first time, and I bet you didn't even know this.
Oh.
I'm going to put him in the top 10 nicest guys in rock and roll I've ever met.
Okay.
Mark Boals.
He's in rock and roll?
According to Sebastian, rock and roll.
Yeah. Okay. No, I've never met Mark.
Mark, I'm telling you, I never met the guy. I mean, obviously you know who he is.
Sure.
I mean, he sang with Yngwie Malmsteen, and he does a lot of session work and a lot of backups, and he's probably sang on a lot of recordings that a lot of people have heard of but didn't know who it was. It's kind of like Jeff Scott Soto.
Okay.
And nicest guy, and before I saw him last night before I turned in for the night. It was like 2:00. Yeah, 2:30 this morning.
Okay.
And what he said to me was, "When am I going to be on your show?"
Dude, that guy can come on anytime he wants.
That's what I told him. I said, "Well, let me get back home. Let me get back to the studio, and he goes, "Dude, I'm available anytime. You just tell me when you want to do it. We'll do it."
All right. Well, good. I mean, what does he do with Don? Does he do the high range?
Yes, he does the accompaniment. They both play guitar, and he sings the accompaniment, and he basically does the Jeff Pilson part. He sings the harmonies.
Right, okay.
And it sounded really good, and I'll give you a full review about that a little bit later.
Okay, cool.
But I was hanging out with him the last couple of days, just as friendly as can be, and get this.
Okay.
He's from Hubbard.
Hubbard, Ohio?
Yes.
Really?
His family's from Hubbard, and get this. Back when, I'm a couple years older than you.
Yeah.
Well, he was playing at the Youngstown Agora, the Cleveland Agora, the Akron Agora.
Okay.
Filthy McNasty's.
Nice.
He knew all the clubs here in the Akron, Cleveland area, and he played all those clubs, and he didn't move out to L.A. until 85.
Oh, no kidding.
Which is the same time I went to L.A.
Jeez, what is he, following you?
Well, basically we're the same age.
He's a stalker.
And far from it. But that guy's had some good success.
That's cool.
And just laid back, easy going, just a good dude. And I promised him we'd call him up and have him on the show.
Sure, absolutely. And, you know, the way it works, I mean, usually when you sing accompaniment for Don Dokken, they usually end up doing a tribute album about you. So, you know.
Speaking of which.
Yes.
And I don't even know if I could talk about this, but I'm going to anyway.
Here's the tribute album. By the way.
You got it?
There it is.
Let me see. Is this the Kiss thing?
That's the, isn't that the tribute to Kelly Keeling?
Oh, no. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this quote unquote, this fundraiser thing, this Kiss tribute record.
Oh, yeah.
Mitch LaFon from Brave Words is kind of his spearheading.
I've heard about it, but I don't know a whole lot about it.
Don is doing a song on it.
Okay.
He's doing Cold Gin, I think.
All right.
And Don said that he is not down for doing these kind of things. And, you know, it's supposedly, quote unquote, for charity.
Okay.
And he told me some horrific stories about charities where the money is made, but it doesn't ever get to where it's going.
Okay.
And there was and I'm not going to name names here, but there was basically a tribute CD, Dio tribute CD or something.
Okay.
And the reason he got soured on that is because, let's just put it this way. The venue was donated.
Uh-huh.
The recording was donated.
Right.
The time and effort from the artists were donated.
Okay.
It made $3 million.
Okay.
And about a third of it made it to the whatever charity, and the rest of it was, quote unquote, administrative expenses.
$2 million admin fees. I hope Wendy had a good vacation. Look, I'm speculating. I wasn't there for this conversation.
Like
I wasn't there for this conversation. I am merely speculating.
It's just that I was just told that I'm not down for this. I agreed to do it. I'm not really happy about it, but I said I would, and I did, and I'm not happy with the production because I have a brand to worry about.
Sure.
So I am going to take this, recut it in a real studio.
Okay.
And I'm going to submit it with real production. It's not going to be this somebody's garage singing in a microphone type thing. You know what I'm saying?
So let me do some backtracking here. Am I wrong in thinking that Wendy Dio just got married recently?
I don't know. I didn't hear that.
You know, and I think she just got married and probably had to go on a nice honeymoon.
I didn't hear. I didn't hear, dude.
I'm just curious. I'm not trying to point to, A to B, but
right.
If anybody else is, that's their decision.
I don't know anything.
I'm just curious of her marital status.
I don't know a thing. So...
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know what to tell you, dude. I don't. I'm just telling you what I was told.
Don't you love when people are just shitty like that? Just awful.
The thing is that with charities, and I'm the same way, even with what would be considered legitimate charities, be it the March of Dimes or the Red Cross, or, I'm always skeptical about where that money goes.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to tell people not to donate.
Sure.
But I look at this has been something that's been around longer than me, and I hate to say it, but I'm reaching the half-century mark here.
Okay.
Muscular dystrophy.
Oh yeah.
Jerry Lewis did that telethon for almost 50 years.
Yep.
What's changed?
Not a damn thing.
What's been made better?
Well, Tim James can work a phone.
Well, he doesn't. Well,
he doesn't shake off the number.
Sure. So you gotta ask the question: what has changed? What's been for the better?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's been some good there, but I don't know that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's the big failing of the telethons, especially. They never tell you. If it was me, I would tell people every hour. I would have video vignettes saying, "Oh, this is what we did last year with your $13 million or whatever we raised." You would think that they would do that all throughout the telethon, and they don't.
Right.
They don't do dick. They just say, "Hey, give me more."
Right.
Call now. Jerry might pick up the phone.
Well, so I don't know the answer, but I'm just going by what I was told, and
Sure.
I don't know. I'm just passing. Don't shoot the messenger.
Whose message are you passing? No comment.
Exactly. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that.
Very nice.
I don't know, dude. I'm just telling you what conversation we had, and
well, it sounds like you had quite the informational time.
yeah. I mean, I'm going to tell some more stories later in the evening, but as far as things I can't really talk about, but
yeah,
it was interesting. There's always. I don't even know. Do you think I could even tell that story about your buddy Zach?
Oh, I think you could tell that
Okay,
story.
well, we'll
Why
tell
not?
that one later.
I think why not? There's nothing. There's nothing bad about that. Really, not too bad.
So anyway, that's all I know. So it's been fun filled. A lot of funny anecdotes, I guess, to
Sure.
tell.
Yeah, dude. Between the two of us, we had a pretty busy week.
Right.
It's definitely good.
Well, coming up here in a few minutes, we got who are we going to talk to? Jeff
Ollie,
Olsen?
yeah.
Ollie, is it Oli or Ollie?
I call him Ollie. You
Okay.
can call him Oli.
Ollie,
Whatever.
Ollie Olsen,
Yeah.
Jeff Ollie Olsen,
Yeah.
drummer for former drummer for Trouble and current drummer for Victor.
Or he's the keyboard player in Victor Griffin's.
Oh, really?
Isn't
Now
he?
he's doing something different.
I think so. Yeah. He's like I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure it out when we talk to him. But I think he might be picking up the keyboards in Engraved. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure. Why would you call? I mean, I get it. Victor Griffin is famous for being in Pentagram and whatnot. And I me, I love the stoner stuff. So I like Pentagram. But come on, it's not Victor Griffin's Engraved. Nobody in their right mind is buying this record because they see Victor Griffin.
Why is it Victor Griffin's engraved? Why isn't it just engraved?
Maybe he picked up the check for the production.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either, but we'll find out. you know?
Okay. Well, I know there's a local stoner band here that I know that they got some kind of a following. Is it Abdullah?
Oh yeah, Abdullah does.
They're from Kent, Ohio, aren't they?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you know about them? I know of them, but I don't really know them.
They're really good. Maybe we could play some Abdullah later in the show because I have that.
Well, what do you know about them as a band? Do you know any of the members?
I do. I know Jeff Shrilla, the singer, and Jeff also ended up after. Why can't I think of his name? The singer for Breaker. After he left Breaker, Jeff was the singer for a while in Breaker. And I mean, I've seen him play a number of times, and I know Jeff a little bit. I don't want to say that I know him. Like, yeah, I've gone to their weddings or parties or anything, but we've done. When I was doing the metal show, we did a few shows with Abdullah where we booked Abdullah as part of the gig, and they were always cool, always nice. They drink a hell of a lot.
Are they still active?
I have not seen them play out in a long time. So I don't know. I am like so removed from this local scene. You're probably closer to the local scene than I am now.
Yeah, well, see, I know of them. I never saw them, but I know that they do have some international acclaim.
Sure, definitely.
So that's just kind of interesting. The number of bands that have come out of the Akron, Kent, Ohio scene.
Sure,
over the years. I mean, not specifically metal, but just music in general.
Absolutely.
I'm going to run down a few that come off the top of my head. Do you remember the Waitresses?
The Waitresses?
Yeah.
No.
They were from Akron. They were the I Know What Boys Like.
Oh, yeah.
I know
that
what
song.
guys want.
Yeah.
They were right here from Akron.
I didn't know that.
And the Black Keys.
Black Keys, I know.
They're from Akron.
Sure.
Abdullah is from Kent.
Right.
Devo is from here.
Sure.
The James Gang.
The James Gang, sure.
Ripper Owens.
Right.
What's her name? The Pretenders. What's her?
Chrissy
Hine.
Right.
Yeah, she's from here. She had a like a vegetarian restaurant downtown Akron I think they just closed it up like last year, just because of the economy and stuff.
She needs to eat some meat. She stinks.
Well, regardless, but she apparently still has like an apartment here.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. And I read an interesting thing about her. She's kind of a liberal lefty.
Okay.
Rush Limbaugh uses her Ohio theme as his opening thing.
Mm-hmm.
And her record label, get this,
yeah.
her record label was trying to do a cease and desist to keep him from using that song.
Okay.
And she said, no, let him use it because my parents are fans.
Oh, nice.
But they came to an agreement that they would pay a royalty to a charity.
Okay.
So every time Rush Limbaugh uses, Ohio,
which is every show, every break.
Well, yeah, I mean that's his theme song.
Yeah.
A charitable contribution is made, for royalties.
Well, that's pretty cool.
But I would have thought that a Chrissy Hind would say, fuck that Rush Limbaugh, that right-leaning bastard, that, racist, whatever,
Yeah.
And I'm not going to let him use my song, But she said, no, my parents are fans. It's cool with me.
Well, there you go. Well, that's cool. At least she gets it a little bit.
So there's a lot of, people from the Akron, Cleveland, Youngstown. Look I just talked about Mark Boals.
Right, sure.
And I didn't know he was from Hubbard, which is outside of Youngstown. Sure. Demon would know.
Yeah.
So there you are.
Lots of them.
Yep. So it's surprising when you add it all up and find out who's from where and,
Right. There's a pretty good Akron concert waiting to happen.
Really?
Well, if you put all those bands together, yeah.
Sure.
But unfortunately, they're all full of themselves probably. So none.
Oh, yeah. Trent Reznor?
Yeah, Trent Reznor.
He's from here?
Oh, look, dude, if you're going to keep naming them, Chimera and Mushroom Head.
Right.
And, Michael Stanley Band. And,
oh, yeah, Michael Stanley Band. Jeez.
And I mean, who can forget Byron Nemeth?
Who?
Neil Zaza.
Oh, Neil Zaza, yeah. His mother is a nurse, and I actually had a DOT physical about 10, 12 years ago, and she was she was the one who was taking my blood pressure and stuff.
Really?
Yeah,
she's a nurse?
She was saying, so you do that classic metal show, and I said, yeah, and she goes, oh, you might know my son, Neil Zaza.
Yeah.
And so I was like, wow.
Yeah, well, maybe as a nurse she could, give him some sort of a lobotomy to take the asshole out of him.
Nice. Oh, Winter's Bane?
Yeah, Winter's Bane, Lou St. Paul.
Right.
And those guys.
Wow.
And, obviously the guys from Beyond Fear outside of Ripper.
Yeah, Jackal 1, Marilyn Manson is here. Brian
Manson.
Warner.
Sure.
He's from here.
Absolutely. All kinds of people from here.
Wow. Well, who would have ever guessed?
And who would have ever guessed, considering how bad most local bands are, that there's so many good ones.
Nice. Nice. All right, dude. Well, I'm looking at the clock here. I think we need to get Mr. Jeff Ole Olson, formerly of Trouble, currently of Victor Griffin's...
Snake Man?
Yeah, Victor the Snake Man Griffin. Victor Griffin's Engraved.
Right.
And it'll be interesting. I know a little bit about Trouble. I know those are one of those cult bands.
Right, sure.
And we'll find out what Jeff's story is, because I've never had him on the show before.
Absolutely.
All right, well, what are we going to play?
I don't know. We're going to play something from Engraved.
Okay.
Of course, I don't have anything labeled, so we're just going to play it.
Okay. Well, get him on the phone. Let's talk to him.
All right, let's see if we can make this phone thing work, and let's play some Engraved.
All right, well, it's Engraved exclusively here
on your classic metal show.